Defining a good example. Knowing a good example in language has several meanings, including the following: getting ahead of others. Follow others. If you smell a good scent, you become a role model, and likewise, whoever has a good reputation is followed in doing it. The best, and what is complied with. And the example is known in the term, taking others as an example for us, and following him. If the follow-up is in good, then it is a good example and a good example, and if the follow-up is in evil, then it is a bad example and a bad example. Principles of a good example in societies. From time to time, the one who is followed by people is at the fore, although in the balance of Sharia it is not fit to be a role model for people. Since the example that we are commanded to follow and imitate has legal principles, these principles must be embodied in what he does, otherwise he will never be followed. As for the principles of a good example, they are as follows: righteousness is God Almighty's command of all creation to follow the example of the Prophet, may God's prayers and peace be upon him, because he gathered all the good qualities, and he does not have an ugly trait. A role model in Islam is someone who people follow in his words and actions. The role model is not among the people of righteousness unless what follows is achieved by it. Faith is not followed by those whose faith has been corrupted, and it is not right for people to advance, because it will distort people's beliefs and mislead them. Worship whoever worships righteously, and is based on the book and the Sunnah, people take him as a role model for them, even if his worship is strict or lenient. According to his whim, it is not right to be an example. Sincerity. The purpose of following an example is to connect people to God Almighty, and sincerity is a condition for accepting work. If he is not faithful to God, he will mislead people in his actions. Good manners. Good manners are the practical application of what is in the heart of a Muslim, and good manners are what influences people and people seek to imitate him. Examples of good manners are as follows: wisdom in word and deed, patience, forbearance, and deliberation in all his behavior, truthfulness in what is between him and his Lord and in what is between him and people, forgiveness, pardon, and transgression. Conformity of saying to action. God Almighty says, knocking on whoever contradicts his saying with his action. Contradicting saying to action is considered an example, and it is one of the reasons for people's regression, when they see that they are imitating a person who does not do what he says, despite his ability to do so, so they want honesty in saying and integrity in action. People are affected by action faster than they are affected by many words. And whoever is a role model for people, then he must match his words with his deeds, otherwise he has an attribute of the hypocrites. For the Almighty said about them, they say with their mouths what is not in their hearts, and God knows best what they conceal. What comes from it? That he is following the Sunnah of the Prophet, may God bless him and grant him peace. Because the Prophet, may God bless him and grant him peace, is the first example for Muslims. A good example guides a Muslim to moderation, so he does not become strict or lax in his worship. The Muslim becomes a role model for others. With his good behavior, he will be rewarded whenever people follow his lead. Following the example of the righteous is a reason for the Muslim to be gathered with them on the day of resurrection.